about on the debate episode 2 episodes ago was Vivek's claim that he pulled himself up by his bootstraps
Yeah.
and he comes from a poor background, yada yada. And of course, that's not true. His family comes from the upper caste system in India, and his mom was a doctor, his dad was an engineer, and he actually it's been reported that he accepted a scholarship, a George Soros scholarship, and the year that he accepted this scholarship, I believe to go to law school, he reported $2.2 million in income while he was accepting a scholarship.
Wow.
And this topic came up on the Five, Fox News show with the four conservative commentators and the one liberal commentator.
Formerly co-hosted by Kimberly Guilfoyle.
And
yeah.
there's going to be an interaction here between the liberal commentator, Jessica. I can't remember her last name right now.
Sarloff or something?
That's close.
Yeah.
And Jesse Waters. And I want you to hear, Jesse Waters, he's constantly banging on about homeless people and how they're terrible and need to be removed from society. He has zero compassion. Zero compassion.
Yeah.
And I want you to hear his response to Vivek taking taking a scholarship when his income was millions of dollars.
Looking for the best price on it? Kelley Blue Book Price Advisor.
Strange, and I do think that as time goes on, lots of this is bubbling up with Vivek, these little pieces of like the 9/11 comments, and the audio has been released that he was, he took a Soros-funded scholarship. He was already a millionaire when he took the money to go to law school, which seems pretty deceitful. I think people are going to start digging into him. On the Nikki Haley front.
Wait, if someone gives you a scholarship and you have $1 million in the bank, you don't take it?
$2.2 million.
You don't take it?
My understanding is that you weren't supposed to get it if you could actually afford to go.
So it's not worthy of the scholarship.
Well, there are scholarships that are based on merit. I think then there's need.
There's need versus merit.
Correct.
So he took a need one. Who knows?
It's not like he checked off a box that wasn't authentic on his form.
No one Here we go. Yes, Elizabeth Warren said that she was Native American. I got that one. Okay.
Imagine these people who will talk about homeless people who are living in the streets, who have to scrape by to get food, to get something to drink.
Yeah.
And they try to talk about how they are living the high life when they have access to like a washer and dryer or something, and they don't believe that homeless people should get anything, should get any kind of benefit, should get any kind of assistance. And then when they hear that a millionaire is taking a scholarship they don't need because they're a millionaire.
Right.
They're like, yeah, who cares? You should take as much as you can.
Right. Yeah. Imagine all of the conversations that you've heard over your lifetime about people who are recipients of welfare. They don't really need it. They're taking what is not theirs, but
Absolutely.
They're not owed.
Yes.
And then just who cares that they're taking a scholarship that could go to another. I mean, when you have a pool of money that gets divvied up and given to scholarship recipients, it's not endless. Absolutely, someone didn't get that scholarship who could have used it. Instead, Vivek got it, the millionaire, and took away an opportunity from somebody else.
How much more evidence do you need that these people just have contempt for the poor?
That's right.
They have contempt. They don't care. They don't want them to be assisted. They don't want them to receive help.
Yeah.
Because it's, rich people should take as much as they can, get as many benefits as they can. The rich people who don't need the benefits, they already have the benefits.
Even when they're doling out tax benefits, tax cuts, tax breaks, it's no, poor people, what? Oh, yes, the rich, give them everything. They deserve it. They're job creators. It's a fundamental contempt for, it's classism. They're contemptuous of poor people. They're contemptuous of people who are in need. And they want to give everything to people who don't need because they have already.
Right. So in response to the Republican debate, the Biden campaign released a new ad specifically focused on the Republican candidates and their response to abortion.
Reproductive health care decisions.
This particular election is because they are right now, the Republican Party. Some will not say it. Some will dance around the question. And the fact that they're dancing around the question about a federal abortion ban lets you know what the agenda is, that it is on the table, it is in the cards, and when they do get power, they're back in the executive, or when they take a full majority in both houses of the Congress. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see a federal abortion ban where states like California, New York, here in Washington, D.C., are controlled by the federal government, and abortion will be stopped.
Yeah, I do think the ad is good. I think that it is obviously important to run on abortion rights because they are popular. The majority of Americans support abortion rights, especially when they are seeing how damaging the effects of abortion bans are across the country.
Yeah.
I do think they could have gone harder and specifically highlighted personal stories of how damaging the abortion bans have been, specifically like the recent Time article about the seventh grader who was raped, unable to obtain an abortion, and is starting seventh grade as a mother.
Right.
These are the stories that need to be put front and center for everyone, because we need to see these damaging effects of abortion bans, not just in the form of maternal health care deserts, of doctors fleeing these red states, inability to draw new talent in the form of medical students to red states, not just those issues, but also how people are being prevented from traveling to obtain abortions,
Yeah.
like seventh graders, like children that are raped and abused, and then forced into a situation where they have a child.
Yeah, on the element of it about going harder, it's definitely a problem within Democratic politics that they have a tendency to gravitate toward milk toastism, of not being aggressive in their advertising. And I would hope, given what is at stake with this election, that come primary season, like when we're deep in it in 2024, that they're gonna start going hard. I mean, it makes me want to put my head together with you and others in the audience or whatever to create like Lincoln Project style advertisement. Just put on YouTube and hope that they go. You write some scripts, do some voiceovers, attach some video to it. It's on us too. It's certainly on the candidates. Absolutely. I'm not taking away from that. But everybody has an opportunity to be an activist this particular election cycle.
I also want to say that in response to that Time article, the National Abortion Federation made a statement and said that situation that happened to that young girl
Mm-hmm.
could have been prevented if there was widespread access to abortion, obviously.
Yeah.
But in lieu of that happening because of Republicans, the National Abortion Federation exists. There is a national abortion hotline, and you can find information about this at prochoice.org. They have a hotline, 1-800-772-9100. You can also go to the website and chat with them from 9 to 5. This hotline is a resource for people who are unable to afford an abortion or unable to afford the travel to obtain an abortion.
Yeah.
When you call this hotline, you say that you need help finding an abortion. They help you figure it out, and they can also give you funding, not only for the procedure, but also for the travel. That
Yeah.
is the purpose of this organization. And I think if more people knew about it, then, they obviously can't prevent all of these situations from happening. They cannot prevent it given just the scale of the problem that we have here with these abortion bans. But if more people had access, they could be
Dealing with the aftermath.
Yeah, they could definitely help. So we're going to put that in the show notes. Be sure to check that out.